we start? How do we get on this path? Oftentimes, there's so much information, books, workshops out there, it's difficult to really tune into what's right for you and what's going to work for you. You may find yourself attracted to Taoist systems, you may find yourself attracted to Tantric systems, you may find yourself attracted to Western systems, Egyptian mystery school, or what they call magnetic male continuous. That was actually a term from late Middle Ages. The Westerners had these sort of systems. A lot of that information got lost. Again, we want to work on our personal evolution to clear out the traumatic events, the emotions that we've stored that will hold us back when we reach a certain point. Anything you can do meditation-wise will always help you connect up with that. One of the things that I work with students in my classes is to open up and expand the nadis. The nadis in the body are a literally energy plumbing system. So we have a nervous system, we have a meridian system, and we have a nadi system. Nadi is a Hindu term. So we have texts talk about 80,000 to 100,000 or more energy channels in our body. These nadis are literally plumbing that the energy flows through. Classically, it's taught they have 5 strands in the nadis. Oftentimes people will only have the first or second strand open. And so as you work up through spiritual advancement, you open more of these nadis, and that allows more of the energy to flow within the body.
I just wanted to put in a plug on yoga. That's what yoga practice does, is it opens all the nadi points. We say there's about 14,000 that you use in yoga. And also the pranayamic breath that you use with yoga sets the frequency at a higher rate.
That's right. So there are physical practices, dance, yoga, and things that really open up, not only release armoring in the body and help to open up to, releasing that traumatic things from childhood and such that we carry around for our lives, but we learn to flow the energy in the nadis more easily. And there are certain nadis that we tend to work with particularly. They talk about a Inga and Pingala nadi, which are parallel up the spine. There's also the Vajra. The Vajra nadi is the one that we both get bliss from meditation, and that's also where the energy channel for sexual pleasure is on the same Vajra. So we work to open those up and expand them and allow more energy to flow. And this is not only for our benefit, but if you do healing work and you open these nadis up, you are able to do more energy. You're able to flow more energy, do more energy work, and help people with their healing path better as we work with others. So the Hindus taught us about the nadi system and how, as we open that up and expand the strands of the nadis, that brings us more spiritual advancement. We have more abilities because of that.
Keith, can I ask you a question? With the Inga and the Pingala, that's the Hindu system, and you said that there was another one. Is that Vajra?
Vajra.
And that's Tibetan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's also a Hindu term.
Is it?
Yeah.
But where does that come in? I mean, I know the strands go, spiral one way and the other way, but I don't understand what that third one does. Is that a different term?
It's a nadi which goes up the central channel. It's almost like it's parallel with the spine.
Oh. Okay.
So Inga and Pingala are like, they describe it as being two, and again we're talking about a duality. It's almost like a male and a female nadi or set of strands. So the Vajra is a centered one that carries a huge amount of energy when we're in sexual ecstasy, for example. And it's also, when we meditate and get into blissful mind states, that's the main channel that energy comes up on.
What does that have anything to do with your heart beating my husband that screen, like his veins, what do you call it? Can't do it now.
Arteriosclerosis.
What?
Arteriosclerosis.
Whatever. I mean, you had surgery for that. You think that's responsible for being blocked in this time?
There's definitely a correlation in my mind about heart issues, physical heart issues tied into emotional issues. A lot of men have heart attacks, and it's not just diet, it's because men close down their hearts. Men are taught that as children, to not feel emotions, to not be in their heart. And just, for example, one of the classes that I teach, there is a heart genital attunement to try to get you connected again, because we separate that in our lives, particularly men more than women, I think, because of the way we're brought up, that we're taught emotionally. So I feel that there is a lot of connection between emotions and how we store that in the heart and heart attack, and why we have such degradation in the heart centers in men. So our soulmate search really becomes the search for the Creator, because we're looking for that other half of our duality, that other half of the energy that we need to balance and make that connection to the Creator. Oftentimes that gets projected in that we are trying to literally find the Creator when we try to find a soulmate or someone who is going to be with us for our life. Another common problem I find with this culture is we have all of our energy in the upper three chakras. People are in their head all the time. They're in that hurricane of life. And we don't ground well. We're separated from the earth because of our shoes, floors, cars, are isolated. So often people are ungrounded. We find that so oftentimes people are in this culture very intellectual, very highly, stimulated in the mind. But you also find that people are afraid of their bodies. They're afraid of being in their bodies. So oftentimes in therapy, people are told to literally go out and find your body again, whether it be yoga or dancing, things like that. I oftentimes try to recommend to people who are in their head all the time to ground and maybe meditate on other centers in the body. So meditate on the heart or meditate on the heart center, to bring energy back down into these lower chakras, because an important aspect is to be grounded. The Taoist has saying, in order to reach for the heavens, you must have your feet planted well on the earth. So this may be many different forms to different people. For me, it's Polynesian dancing. I do Hawaiian hula and Tahitian dancing. And you really move your hips. It's something that this culture doesn't allow men to do. So you bring your energy down into those lower chakras. It may be yoga. Certain postures are very much grounding. Maybe Tai Chi. So that varies from person to person what you really are attracted to. So it's difficult to say, oh, you should do this. No, you should find what is right for you to do that grounding, bring your energy down into the lower chakras. That doesn't mean abandon the upper chakras. That means balance. Having done body work in the past, I can tell you about 90% of the people I've worked on, their energy is in the upper chakras. And when you start to balance, you find the energy flowing down to the lower part of the body. So again, we try to get this balance between grounding, being in our bodies, and working with the higher self. The Hawaiians describe this very well as harmonizing the three selves. The Hawaiians actually have a very deep, in-depth knowledge of psychology and knew all about the subconscious and suppression of emotions long before Freud ever chomp a cigar.